The cosmic drought. The vast expanse of space had never felt so oppressive to Captain Ilara Chen as it did now. She stood on the bridge of the ISS Aquarius, Earth's first interstellar diplomatic vessel, staring out at the swirling nebula before her. The colors were breathtaking, blues and purples dancing with streaks of silver. But Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that she was looking at a cosmic graveyard. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the Galactic Council," her communications officer, Lieutenant Raj Patel, announced. "They're requesting our presence immediately." Ilara nodded, her jaw set. "Tell them we're on our way." As the Aquarius changed course, Ilara's mind raced through the events of the past year. It had started with a distress call from a passing alien ship, desperate for water. At first, Earth's governments had thought it was a joke or a misunderstanding. Water was one of the most common molecules in the universe. How could any spacefaring civilization be short of it? But as more ships appeared, each more desperate than the last, the truth became undeniable. The galaxy was facing a crisis unlike any in recorded history. Water, at least water as Earth knew it, was becoming scarce. Entering the Galactic Council space station, the pilot announced, snapping Ilara back to the present. The Aquarius docked smoothly, and Ilara led her small team through the airlock. They were greeted by a delegation of aliens, each more bizarre than the last. There was Zaxtrol, the towering insectoid representative of the Hive Collective; Ambassador Luri, a bioluminescent being from the ocean world of Aquatica; and Grek, a silicon-based life form that looked more like a walking crystal than a sentient being. "Welcome, humans," Zaxtrol chittered, its mandibles clicking with each word. "We appreciate your prompt response to our summons." Ilara bowed slightly, a gesture she hoped was universal. "We're honored to be here, representatives. Though I must admit, we're still trying to understand the full scope of this situation." Ambassador Luri's skin rippled with colors, a language Ilara couldn't begin to comprehend. A translator device affixed to the alien's gelatinous body spoke. "The situation, Captain Chen, is dire. Our worlds are dying. Our people are suffering. And your Earth may be our only hope." As they walked through the station's winding corridors, Grek's crystalline body refracted the light, casting small rainbows on the walls. For eons, it said, its voice a melodious hum, "We believed water to be a simple compound. Abundant. Replaceable. We were wrong." They entered a vast chamber, its walls lined with screens showing various worlds. Ilara's heart sank as she took in the images. Cracked, parched earth, dried-up oceans, withered plants and animals gasping for moisture. "I don't understand," Ilara said, her voice barely above a whisper. "How is this possible?" Zaxtrol moved to a central console, its spindly legs clicking against the floor. "We've only recently begun to unravel the mystery. It seems that water, true water, is more than just H2O. It carries within it a essence, an energy we don't yet fully comprehend." Images flashed across the screens, microscopic views of water molecules. Ilara watched in fascination as the molecules from various worlds were compared. They looked similar at first glance, but as the images zoomed in further, differences became apparent. The water from Earth seemed to dance, to pulse with an inner light that the others lacked. "Your world," Luri's translator intoned, "is special, Captain Chen. The water of Earth carries within it the accumulated energy of billions of years of life. It has been cycled through countless organisms, shaped by your planet's unique magnetic field, infused with minerals found nowhere else in the galaxy." Ilara's mind reeled. "But we've been giving our water freely to those in need. Surely that's helping." Grek's crystalline form seemed to dim slightly. "It is, but it's not enough. The demand far outstrips the supply. And what?" Ilara pressed. "And there are those who would take it by force," Zaxtrol finished. Already, we've had reports of raids on water transports. Some species, driven by desperation, are considering more drastic measures. The implication hung heavy in the air. Earth, once considered a backwater planet in a forgotten arm of the galaxy, was now sitting on the most valuable resource in the universe, and they were defenseless against the advanced civilizations that might come to claim it. Ilara felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. She thought of the billions of people back on Earth, blissfully unaware of the cosmic storm brewing around them. She thought of her own daughter, playing in sprinklers on a warm summer day, never knowing thirst. "What do you need from us?" she asked, her voice steady despite the turmoil in her heart. The alien representatives exchanged glances. It was Lurie who spoke next, its bioluminescent skin pulsing with urgency. "We need Earth to join the Galactic Council. We need your scientists to work with ours to understand the unique properties of your water. And we need your help to create a fair system of distribution before war breaks out." Ilara nodded slowly. "I'll need to consult with my superiors back on Earth. This is a lot to process." "Of course," Zax Troll chittered. "But please, impress upon them the urgency of the situation. Every moment we delay, more worlds inch closer to collapse." As they made their way back to the Aquarius, Ilara's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. The fate of the galaxy resting on the shoulders of humanity. It was like something out of a science fiction novel. Yet here they were, living it. Back on the bridge, as the Aquarius disengaged from the station, Lieutenant Patil approached her. "Captain, what are we going to do?" Ilara stared out at the stars, each one potentially harboring a world in desperate need. "We're going to do what humanity has always done, Raj. We're going to adapt. We're going to innovate. And we're going to help." As the Aquarius set course for Earth, Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Humanity was about to step onto a galactic stage, armed with nothing but their wits and the most precious substance in the universe flowing through their veins. The cosmic drought had begun, and Earth, against all odds, held the key to the galaxy's survival. The Turan negotiation. The United Nations General Assembly Hall buzzed with attention unlike any in its history. Representatives from every nation on Earth sat in stunned silence as they watched the holographic presentation before them. Captain Ilara Chen stood at the podium, her voice steady as she recounted her meeting with the Galactic Council. "And so, ladies and gentlemen," she concluded, "we find ourselves at a crossroads. The galaxy needs us, and we have a decision to make." The silence that followed was deafening. It was the President of the United States, Amara Jackson, who finally broke it. "Captain Chen, are you telling us that our planet, which we've long believed to be unremarkable in the grand scheme of things, is now the most important world in the galaxy?" Ilara nodded. "That's correct, Madam President. Our water, shaped by Earth's unique conditions over billions of years, has properties that make it essential for life across the galaxy. And right now, we're the only source." The Chinese representative, Lai Wei, leaned forward. "And what assurances do we have that this isn't some elaborate ruse, a ploy by these aliens to gain access to our resources?" Before Ilara could respond, a new voice echoed through the hall. "Perhaps I can address that concern." All heads turned to see a shimmering figure materialize at the center of the room. It was Ambassador Lurie, its bioluminescent body pulsing with gentle colors. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the assembly. For many, this was their first time seeing an alien in person. "Esteemed leaders of Earth," Lurie's translator intoned, "I apologize for this unorthodox entrance, but we felt it crucial to be part of this discussion. Your Captain Chen speaks the truth. The galaxy stands on the brink of a catastrophe that only you can avert." The next few hours were a whirlwind of questions, explanations, and heated debates. Lurie, joined by holographic projections of Zax Troll and Grek, patiently addressed every concern raised by Earth's leaders. As the session stretched into the night, clear factions began to emerge. Some nations, led by smaller countries with abundant freshwater resources, saw an opportunity for unprecedented economic growth. Others, particularly those already struggling with water scarcity, feared being left behind in this new galactic economy. "We cannot simply open the floodgates, so to speak," argued the Indian representative, Priya Sharma. "Our own people must come first." "But think of the technological advancements we could gain in return," countered the Brazilian delegate, João Silva. "Clean energy, medical breakthroughs, faster than light travel. The possibilities are endless." As the debate raged on, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a renowned hydrologist from Japan, took the floor. "Colleagues, if I may, we're overlooking a crucial point here. Yes, our water is unique, but it's not infinite. If we agree to this, we need ironclad guarantees that our ecosystems won't be depleted." Luri's body flickered with what seemed like approval. "A wise observation, Dr. Tanaka. We propose the formation of a joint Earth Galactic Committee to oversee all water distribution. Your scientists would work alongside ours to ensure sustainable extraction methods." President Jackson stood, her presence commanding attention. "Before we go any further, I think we need to address the elephant in the room. Ambassador Luri, what's to stop less scrupulous civilizations from simply taking our water by force?" The assembly fell silent, all eyes on the alien diplomat. Luri's colors shifted to deep, somber hues. "A fair question, Madam President. The truth is, if Earth were to face a full-scale invasion from an advanced civilization, your current defenses would be insufficient." A ripple of unease spread through the hall. Luri continued, "However, Earth's immediate integration into the Galactic Council would provide you with protection under our laws. Any aggression against Earth would be met with the full force of the Council's combined fleets." The Russian representative, Nikolai Volkov, scoffed. "And we're to simply trust in the benevolence of this council." Zach Strahl's hologram chittered. "Trust is earned, Representative Volkov. We propose a phased approach. Limited water shipments in exchange for defensive technology. As trust builds, we can expand our cooperation." As the night wore on, a tentative consensus began to form. Earth would cautiously engage with the galactic community, but with strict conditions. A new agency, the Terran Water Authority, TWA, would be established to oversee all extraterrestrial water transactions. Every nation would have representation, and a portion of the galactic payments would be used to ensure water security for all of Earth's inhabitants. As dawn broke over New York City, the United Nations made its historic vote. With an overwhelming majority, Earth agreed to join the Galactic Council. In the weeks that followed, the world transformed. Alien ships, once hidden, now openly visited designated spaceports. Scientists from across the globe worked feverishly alongside their extraterrestrial counterparts, unraveling the mysteries of Earth's water. At the newly established TWA headquarters in Geneva, Ilara Chen found herself in a new role, Earth's first galactic water ambassador. As she stood in her office, overlooking the serene waters of Lake Geneva, her comm unit buzzed. "Ambassador Chen," came the urgent voice of her assistant. "We've got a situation. A Draxian freighter is requesting emergency water rations. They say their life support systems are failing." Ilara took a deep breath. This was it. Earth's first real test in galactic diplomacy. "Tell them help is on the way," she said, her voice firm. "And contact the Council. I want a full briefing on Draxian biology and their water needs." As she moved to action, Ilara couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. Earth had taken its first steps into a larger universe, armed with the most precious resource in the galaxy. The challenges ahead were immense, but for the first time in history, humanity was united in a common purpose. The age of Terran water diplomacy had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Operation Aquarius. The cavernous hangar of the Terran Water Authority's main spaceport in the Sahara Desert hummed with activity. Massive starships from a dozen different alien races waited in orderly rows, their hulls gleaming under the harsh desert sun. Each vessel was here for the same reason: to collect their allotted share of Earth's precious water. Dr. Amina Nkosi, the newly appointed head of Earth's Sanohydrology Division, stood on an observation deck overlooking the spectacle. Her dark eyes sparkled with a mixture of pride and concern as she watched the carefully choreographed dance of loading and distribution. "Impressive, isn't it?" a voice said beside her. Amina turned to see Ambassador Ilara Chen, looking tired but satisfied. Amina nodded. "Operation Aquarius is exceeding all expectations, but I can't help wondering if we're doing enough." Ilara's expression grew serious. "I know what you mean. For every world we help, it seems two more are added to the waiting list." Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent beep from Ilara's comm unit. "Ambassador, we have a situation," came the voice of her aide. "A Krex warship has just entered the solar system. They're demanding immediate water allocation outside of the agreed-upon schedule." Ilara's jaw tightened. "Here we go again. I'll be right there." She turned to Amina. "Duty calls. Keep up the good work, Doctor." As Ilara hurried off to deal with the latest diplomatic crisis, Amina returned her gaze to the hangar below. Operation Aquarius, Earth's ambitious plan to distribute water fairly across the galaxy, had been in full swing for 6 months now. The technological leaps they'd made in that time were staggering. The huge tanker ships being loaded weren't filled with simple water tanks. Instead, they housed incredibly advanced stasis chambers, each containing a perfect sphere of water, suspended in a zero-gravity field. This technology, developed through collaboration between human scientists and alien engineers, allowed for the transportation of vast quantities of water without risk of contamination or loss. But it wasn't just space technology that had advanced. Earth itself was undergoing a transformation. New, hyper-efficient desalination plants dotted coastlines around the world. Weather control satellites, gifts from the grateful Aquaticans, helped distribute rainfall more evenly across the planet. For the first time in history, no human on Earth lacked access to clean, fresh water. Amina made her way down to the main floor of the hangar, nodding to the mix of human and alien workers as she passed. She approached one of the loading stations, where a team was preparing a shipment for a distant world called HFY. "How's it looking, Dr. Okafor?" she asked the lead technician. Dr. Okafor, a brilliant young physicist from Nigeria, looked up from his console. "Everything's green across the board, Dr. Nkosi. This batch has been specially treated to match the mineral content of HFY's native waters. It should help their ecosystems recover much faster." Amina smiled. This was the true magic of Operation Aquarius. They weren't just shipping water. They were crafting bespoke solutions for each world, tailoring the water's composition to best serve the needs of diverse alien biospheres. As she continued her inspection, a commotion near the hangar's main entrance caught her attention. A group of protesters had managed to bypass security and were now chanting and waving signs. "Earth first," they shouted. "Keep our water here." Amina sighed. Despite the numerous benefits Earth had gained from its galactic cooperation, there were still those who viewed the water distribution program with suspicion and fear. She couldn't entirely blame them. The idea of shipping Earth's most precious resource to the stars was daunting, even with all the safeguards in place. Before security could intervene, Amina approached the group. "I understand your concerns," she said, her voice calm but firm. "But I assure you, Operation Aquarius is not depleting Earth's resources. In fact, thanks to the technology we've gained, Earth now has more accessible fresh water than ever before." The protest leader, a young man with fierce eyes, stepped forward. "And what happens when the aliens decide they want more? When they come with warships instead of trade agreements?" Before Amina could respond, a new voice joined the conversation. "Then they would have to deal with us." The crowd parted to reveal a towering figure, Zach Strahl of the Hive Collective, now Earth's primary liaison to the Galactic Council. The insectoid alien's presence immediately changed the atmosphere. For many of the protesters, this was their first time seeing a non-human up close. Zaxtral's compound eyes surveyed the group before he continued speaking. "Your world's generosity has not gone unnoticed," he chittered, his translator conveying his words in crisp English. "The Galactic Council has unanimously voted to establish a permanent defense fleet in your solar system. Any aggression against Earth will be met with the full might of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations." The protesters murmured among themselves, clearly taken aback by this news. Amina seized the moment. "We're not just giving away our water," she explained. "We're building alliances, gaining knowledge, and securing humanity's place in the galaxy. The benefits far outweigh the risks." As the crowd slowly dispersed, Amina felt a mix of relief and unease. She knew this was just one small victory in an ongoing battle for hearts and minds. The galaxy's thirst for Earth's water wasn't going away anytime soon, and neither were the challenges it brought. Later that evening, as the sun set over the desert, casting long shadows across the spaceport, Amina sat in her office reviewing the day's reports. A soft chime announced an incoming transmission. To her surprise, it was from one of the distant research outposts on Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon. Dr. Nkosi. The excited face of Dr. Elena Rodriguez filled the screen. "We've had a breakthrough. You need to see this immediately." Amina leaned forward, her fatigue forgotten. "What is it, Elena?" "We've been analyzing the ice cores from Europa's deepest layers, the ones closest to the subsurface ocean. Amina, the water there, it's different. It has some of the same unique properties as Earth's water. Not quite as potent, but close." Amina's mind raced with the implications. If they could harvest water from Europa, it could dramatically increase their supply without putting additional strain on Earth's resources. But it also raised new questions. Why did Europa's water share these properties? Was there a connection to Earth's water that they hadn't yet discovered? "Send me all the data," Amina said, her voice tense with excitement. "And not a word of this to anyone outside the team for now. We need to verify everything before we make any announcements." As the transmission ended, Amina stared out her window at the starship-filled hangar. Operation Aquarius had already changed the course of human history. Now it seemed they were on the brink of yet another momentous discovery. The galaxy's water crisis was far from over, but for the first time since this all began, Amina felt a glimmer of hope. Humanity, with its ingenuity and determination, was not just surviving in this new galactic arena. It was thriving. And perhaps, just perhaps, they were closer to unraveling the mystery of their miraculous water than anyone had dared to dream. The Hydro Revolution. The conference room at the Terran Water Authority's headquarters in Geneva was packed to capacity. Scientists, diplomats, and journalists from across Earth and beyond had gathered for what promised to be a historic announcement. At the center of it all stood Dr. Amina Nkosi, her usual calm demeanor barely concealing her excitement. "Ladies, gentlemen, and honored beings of all species," she began, her voice steady. "Today, I am thrilled to announce that after years of tireless research and unprecedented galactic cooperation, we have achieved what many thought impossible. We can now replicate the unique properties of Earth's water." A collective gasp rippled through the room, followed by an explosion of questions and exclamations. Amina raised her hand for silence. "What we've discovered is that the key to Earth's water lies not in its chemical composition, but in its quantum structure. Through a process we're calling quantum hydrodynamic replication, we can imbue any H2O molecule with the same life-giving properties as Earth's natural water." As Amina continued her explanation, detailing the intricate science behind the breakthrough, Ambassador Ilara Chen watched from the back of the room. Her eyes weren't on Amina, but on the reactions of the gathered crowd. Most showed awe and excitement, but she couldn't help noticing a few faces that darkened with concern. Or was it fear? Hours later, as the initial euphoria of the announcement began to subside, Ilara found herself in a secure briefing room with Earth's top officials. The mood here was far more somber. "Do you realize what you've done?" growled General Harding of the United Earth Defense Force. "You've just made Earth obsolete. Why would anyone trade with us now?" Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the lead scientist from the Europa project, spoke up. "With all due respect, General, that's short-sighted. This technology doesn't make Earth obsolete. It makes us indispensable. We're the only ones who know how to do this." President Amara Jackson nodded. "Dr. Rodriguez is right, but we need to be careful about how we proceed. This technology could reshape the entire galactic economy. We need a plan." As the debate raged on, Ilara's comm unit buzzed with an urgent message. She slipped out of the room to take the call. "Ambassador Chen," came the chittering voice of Zach Strahl. "We have a problem. Our intelligence suggests that a faction within the Krex Empire is planning to steal your water replication technology. They believe it would give them the power to dominate the galaxy." Ilara's blood ran cold. The Krex were known for their brutal efficiency and disregard for galactic law. If they got their hands on this technology, the consequences could be catastrophic. "Thank you, Zach Strahl," she replied. "We'll increase our security immediately. Can we count on the Council's support if things escalate?" "Of course," the alien diplomat assured her. "But be cautious. The Krex are not the only ones who might see this technology as a threat to their power." Over the next few weeks, as news of the breakthrough spread across the galaxy, Earth found itself at the center of a storm. Delegations from hundreds of worlds arrived, all eager to negotiate for access to the new technology. But with opportunity came danger. The first attack came in the form of a sophisticated computer virus that nearly crippled the Terran Water Authority's global network. It was only thanks to the quick thinking of a joint human-alien cybersecurity team that disaster was averted. Then came the attempts at old-fashioned espionage. Spies from various factions, both terrestrial and extraterrestrial, tried to infiltrate research facilities around the world. Some were caught. Others weren't. But the most shocking betrayal came from within. Dr. Viktor Petrov, a brilliant chemist who had been part of the original water replication team, was caught attempting to smuggle key components of the technology off-world. In a secure interrogation room deep beneath Geneva, Ilara faced the disgraced scientist. "Why, Victor?" she asked, her voice tinged with sadness and anger. "You were part of something incredible, something that could change the galaxy for the better. Why throw it all away?" Petrov's eyes, once bright with scientific curiosity, now burned with a fanatical gleam. "You don't understand," he spat. "This technology, it's too powerful. No single world should control it. I was trying to set it free, to give it to everyone." Ilara shook her head. "And in doing so, you could have started a galactic war. This isn't just about science, Victor. It's about responsibility." As Petrov was led away, Ilara couldn't shake a feeling of unease. How many others shared his views? How long could Earth hope to maintain control over this world-changing technology? Meanwhile, in a secret facility buried deep in the Himalayan mountains, Dr. Amina Nkosi and her team worked tirelessly to refine and improve the water replication process. They had made another startling discovery. The replicated water seemed to be even more potent than the original. "It's as if we've distilled the very essence of what makes Earth's water special," Amina explained to a holographic projection of the Galactic Council. "Early tests show it can rejuvenate dying ecosystems at an unprecedented rate." The alien representatives murmured in excitement, but Zach Strahl's voice cut through the chatter. "This is wonderful news, Dr. Nkosi. But it also puts an even larger target on Earth's back. The Council is receiving reports of increased military activity in several sectors. Some fear that certain factions may be preparing for war." Amina's face fell. "All we wanted was to help," she said softly. "How did it come to this?" Back in Geneva, Ilara Chen stood before the United Earth Council, the weight of the galaxy seemingly on her shoulders. "We stand at a crossroads," she began. "We have the power to end the water crisis that has plagued the galaxy for generations. But with that power comes great danger. The question before us now is not just how to use this technology, but how to protect it and ourselves. President Jackson leaned forward. "What are you proposing, Ambassador?" Ilara took a deep breath. "Operation Hydra," she said. "A multi-pronged approach to secure our future. First, we accelerate our defensive technology program. We use the goodwill we've built up to forge stronger alliances. And most importantly, we begin a controlled rollout of the water replication technology." "Controlled how?" asked the Chinese representative, her eyes narrowing. "We don't give anyone the full technology," Ilara explained. "Instead, we set up replication stations on key worlds throughout the galaxy. Earth maintains control, but we share the benefits widely enough to prevent any one faction from feeling left out." The room erupted in debate. It was a risky plan, fraught with diplomatic and security challenges. But as the discussion wore on, a consensus began to emerge. Earth had started this journey as a simple provider of a precious resource. Now it was poised to become the watershed of the galaxy, the wellspring from which a new era of peace and prosperity might flow. As the Council voted to approve Operation Hydra, Ilara's comm unit buzzed once more. It was Amina. "Ambassador," she said, her voice tense with excitement. "We found something in the Europa samples, something that changes everything we thought we knew about the origin of Earth's water. You need to see this." Ilara felt a shiver run down her spine. The Hydra Revolution was entering a new phase, and she had a feeling that the greatest challenges and discoveries were yet to come. A new galactic order. The observation deck of the Ganymede station hung suspended in the inky blackness of space, offering a breathtaking view of Jupiter's swirling storms. But Ambassador Ilara Chen's attention was fixed on a holographic display showing a map of the Milky Way. Dozens of points of light pulsed across its spiral arms, each representing a successfully established water replication station. "Operation Hydra has exceeded our wildest expectations," Dr. Amina Nkosi said, her voice filled with pride. "In just 18 months, we've brought sustainable water supplies to over 300 worlds." Ilara nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "It hasn't been easy," she replied, thinking of the countless diplomatic negotiations, security crises, and technological hurdles they'd overcome. "But we're finally starting to see real change in the galaxy." Their conversation was interrupted by a chime, signaling an incoming transmission. The holographic map disappeared, replaced by the familiar insectoid features of Zaxtral. "Ambassador, Doctor," the alien diplomat chittered, "I bring news from the Galactic Council." The vote was unanimous. Earth is to be granted a permanent seat on the High Council, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. Ilara's eyes widened. This was unprecedented. In the millennia-long history of the Galactic Council, no emerging civilization had ever been elevated so quickly to its highest ranks. "There's more," Zaxtral continued. "The Council has officially designated the Sol system as a protected heritage site. No unauthorized ships will be allowed to enter your space without express permission from Earth or the Council." As the implications of this news sank in, Amina turned to Ilara, her expression a mix of awe and concern. "We did it," she said softly. "We've secured Earth's place in the galaxy, but are we ready for this level of responsibility?" Ilara was about to respond when another alert sounded. This time, it was Dr. Elena Rodriguez, calling from the research base on Europa. "Ambassador, Dr. Nkosi," Elena said, her face flushed with excitement. "We've confirmed our findings. The unique properties of Earth's water. They're not native to our planet. They came from Europa." The revelation hit like a thunderbolt. Ilara and Amina exchanged shocked glances as Elena continued. "Our analysis shows that billions of years ago, a massive comet from the Jupiter system, likely a chunk of Europa, impacted Earth. It brought with it the quantum-entangled water molecules that make our planet's water so special." Amina's mind raced with the implications. So Earth's miracle water, it's actually extraterrestrial in origin. Elena nodded. In a way, yes. But it was Earth's unique conditions, our magnetic field, our precise distance from the sun, our diverse biosphere, that allowed these special properties to flourish and evolve. Earth and Europa are two parts of a cosmic puzzle that's taken billions of years to solve. As the scientists delved into the technical details of their discovery, Ilara found herself staring out at the vastness of space. Humanity had entered the galactic stage believing they were offering the unique gift, only to discover that their greatest treasure had cosmic origins. It was a humbling revelation, but also an inspiring one. Months passed, and the ripple effects of Earth's water revolution continued to spread across the galaxy. The replication stations, now upgraded with insights gained from the Europa discovery, were transforming worlds at an astonishing pace. Desert planets bloomed with life. Dying stars were rejuvenated by precisely calibrated water injections. Species long believed extinct were cloned and reintroduced to their restored homeworlds. But it wasn't just alien worlds that were changing. Earth itself was undergoing a renaissance. The influx of advanced alien technologies, freely shared in gratitude for Earth's gift to the galaxy, had solved many of humanity's long-standing problems. Clean energy was now abundant and freely available. Climate change had been reversed, with Earth's ecosystems restored to their pre-industrial revolution balance. Diseases that had plagued humanity for millennia were eradicated. Yet, with these advancements came new challenges. As Earth's influence grew, so did the responsibility to use that influence wisely. The temptation to play favorites or to leverage their position for selfish gains was ever present. It was on a warm summer evening in New York City, 5 years after the initial discovery of Earth's unique water properties, that Ilara Chen addressed the United Nations General Assembly for what would be the last time as Earth's galactic ambassador. Distinguished representatives, honored guests, citizens of Earth, and our galactic neighbors, she began, her voice carrying across the hushed chamber. 5 years ago, we stood on this very spot, grappling with the enormity of our newfound importance in the universe. We were afraid, uncertain, and unprepared for the challenges that lay ahead. She paused, her gaze sweeping across the room. Today, we stand here not as novices, but as full partners in a grand cosmic community. Our water has brought life to countless worlds. Our scientists work side by side with beings from across the galaxy, pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Our children dream not just of the stars, but of the worlds beyond them, worlds they might one day call home. But our journey is far from over, Ilara continued, her tone growing serious. With our seat on the Galactic High Council comes great responsibility. We must be vigilant against the temptations of power. We must remember that our strength lies not in domination, but in cooperation. As Ilara spoke, screens around the chamber displayed images from across the galaxy. Lush forests on once barren worlds, thriving alien cities powered by clean energy, diplomatic meetings between species that had once been bitter enemies. The discovery of our water's cosmic origins reminds us of a fundamental truth, Ilara said, her voice swelling with emotion. We are all connected, bound together by forces beyond our full understanding. Earth's gift to the galaxy was not just our water, but the reminder that even the smallest pebble can create ripples that change the course of mighty rivers. In the years that followed, Earth continued to evolve. The first human colonies were established on terraformed worlds in nearby star systems. Diplomatic and cultural exchanges with alien civilizations became commonplace. Earth's cities grew upward and outward, incorporating organic alien architectures that blended seamlessly with the natural environment. But perhaps the most profound change was in humanity's perspective. The petty conflicts and divisions that had defined much of human history began to fade as people embraced their role as citizens of a vast and wondrous galaxy. One bright morning, as the sun rose over the gleaming spires of New Geneva, Earth's newly established center of galactic diplomacy, Amina Nkosi stood in her office, gazing out at the bustling streets below. Humans and aliens of all descriptions moved about their day, a living testament to the new order Earth had helped create. Her comm unit chimed softly. It was a message from a science outpost in a distant galaxy, one of many that Earth had helped establish. They had discovered a new type of water, with properties that defied current understanding of physics. Amina smiled to herself. The universe, it seemed, would never cease to amaze them. Humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning, and the well of discoveries was far from dry. As she prepared to dive into this latest mystery, Amina reflected on the words that had become Earth's unofficial motto in this new age. From a single drop, oceans of possibility flow. The galaxy had gifted Earth with miraculous water eons ago. Now, humanity was repaying that gift 1,000-fold, one world at a time. And in doing so, they were writing a new chapter in the cosmic story, a chapter of hope, unity, and endless wonder.